Hello.
Coach, how do you think practice went today?
That was a good day. We tackled live today. Thought the intensity of the day, I think I've gotten a little bit soft with a veteran group. And that's 100% on me. I think that it's showing up too much on tape. And so we kind of changed how we practiced with a lot more. We got guys with green jerseys that can't contact, took them out. And said the guys that can practice, we're tackling, we're playing physical, and we're going to play the guys who can practice and can get out there and play full speed.
Is that uncommon to do that on a Tuesday in season?
Very. Yes.
And so, is it, when you say that you got soft, does that mean that you wish you would have gone harder in like spring and or camp? Or
I think there's a fine balance. Our team's playing, we're second in the league in rush defense going into last week. And I think we had the leading rusher in the league going into last week. So I don't know if it's a, season-long problem, but I think gradually throughout a season, it's not good when your physicality goes down throughout a season. So it's more throughout the season, there's that fine balance of, do you manage and get guys to Saturday, and when you do get dinged up, it's a balance, or do you say, you know what, we're not sacrificing our culture and our toughness, and whoever can practice will practice at this level of intensity, and whoever can't, you got to sit out, and then we got to make a determining factor if those players are good enough to sit out of the intensity and play, which everybody's different. But I've called some other coaches on how they've navigated a team that's fairly dinged up, and how do you keep your toughness, because that's what I don't want to lose. One game doesn't define us, but if it continues, it does. And like I told them, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing expecting a different result. So there's going to be a different level of intensity. There's going to be a change in terms of how we practice, so that doesn't happen again, because it's happened once in a year and a half. It's not what defines us unless we allow it to define us. So we got to change it. So we tried to nip it in the bud.
How did you see the players respond to that challenge?
They loved it. I thought they practiced really hard today. I thought that was one of our better Tuesdays. I don't know from like a schematic standpoint how many MAs and all that stuff. I really don't care. So at the end of the day, people see football and coaching is about getting people to move the other people the other direction. When you can't do that, and when it gets done to you, like your biggest coaching error is allowing that to happen, which has nothing to do with a whiteboard or a meeting room, has to do with a culture, a standard that you allow practice to happen. So I think from my perspective, that's what we're trying to get cleaned up, is the standard of how we practice. Even with vets, even with guys dinged up, we have to re-elevate that. And that starts with me, and that's 100% on me. The reason it's kind of gone down was by design, but poor design by me. Live and learn. Can't let that happen. We got to re-attack it.
So Sam participated today. What's the update on that?
Yeah, I think we're going to have a conversation here today, tomorrow morning, in terms of what that looks like. I thought he moved around pretty good today. I thought he moved in the pocket a little bit today. Last week he never left the pocket, so we didn't really know. Today he moved around in the pocket, which was a positive, so he looked more like himself. So I think we'll have a conversation, and then by tomorrow, when the injury report's out, we'll disclose the honest truth again, and we'll see what rumors come about.
How tough is it when you have a guy that's as tough as he is, that'll play through pain regardless? Thanks for missing the wagon. That'll play through pain. How tough is it to evaluate where he is when he'll play?
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse. You want guys like that are, they want to play. They're going to do everything possible, and that's what he is. And last week protected him from him a little bit, and this week we just got to have an honest conversation come Tuesday. Hey, where does it stand? And by Wednesday, hopefully we have a really good clue. But it's awesome. I'd much rather have guys who are competing to play and getting rehab and coming up all day than guys that just fold. So I'm glad we have a guy like that.
Obviously, on the outside, that's everything that everybody's talking about. But do you feel like that kind of Sam conversation has kind of impacted the way that the team has looked?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. That's an excuse. At the end of the day, the quarterback has nothing to do with moving people forward and backwards. Has nothing to do with tackling. To say the emotional change, that's softness. If that's a reason for losing, then we're going to lose a lot of games here when I'm the head coach, if that's the culture we're creating. There are no excuses. Like, you get your butt kicked, come out here, you change something, so you don't get the same result, because that's not who defines us. Like I said, unless we allow it to define us. How do you change it? You work harder. You practice more physical. It's not rocket science. You do the things you weren't good at. And unfortunately, when you weren't good last week at tackling, you have to tackle mid-season, which is not something you normally like to do. But I guess over time, I've allowed it to get to a point where we have a game like that, which means we need a correction. And I think today was just a correction to get back on board in the right direction of how to build a program.
Follow up from yesterday. You said there's hope that X comes back later in the season. He can obviously play 2 more games and still be eligible for redshirt. I believe, is that on the table for him as well?
I don't know. We haven't crossed that path yet with him. So we'll cross that path. I mean, when we cross that path with him.
Coach, talking obviously about the O-line guys yesterday, about the last game, the guys coming in now, but what do you think about their first practice? Obviously, he's out at Dillingham.
Yeah, I mean, it's not fun not having been out there. I mean, he's a leader of our team. He's been here since day one with us. He's been one of our best offensive players on our team this year, and so that's unfortunate. But I think the guys, stepped up, and I think that's what it takes. It takes guys stepping up and preparing at a level better than they prepared before. Your preparation throughout a season should get harder, not easier as it goes along, because your body should feel worse, which means you should have to do more to feel ready enough to play. So I think getting the young guys to understand that it's not just the same thing every week, it's the same thing and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. And hopefully our young guys respond to that.
How can Ben continue to impact this team even if he's not on the field?
Be Ben, be a leader, be a positive influence, shed light when there needs to be lights and laughter, because that's a personality he is. So bring joy around the facility. I think that's something he's really good at. So just be around and be himself.
One more question. Do you talk to your leaders to try to help get them to push this messaging that you've been talking about today, or?
Yeah, but it's just, like I said, one game doesn't define you. So it's not like we were expecting to get just destroyed,
Of course.
right? So there really isn't that. Up to that point, we've dominated the run. And we've been physical. That's been a strength of our team. It's holy cow, other than third and short, right? We've been a physical team. So it's more during where did that last 2 weeks go, that allowed us to play like that. Because the reality is you are how you play. And you're only as good as your last game. So what defines us right now is our last game. Is that who we are? No. But it's what we are today. It's not who we have to be. We got to fix that. So I think in terms of the leaders, they understand the mission. It's like an unsaid thing. When everybody knows what happened and how to fix it, right? There's really nothing to be said. I think I could call, my sister, and she would know we need to tackle and stop the run, right? So I think it's one of those unsaid things of let's just all go get it accomplished. Let's get back to playing our brand of football and trying to establish the line of scrimmage.